Thank you guys for joining us on Twitch TV. I'm your host today. My name is Christine. I'm the co-founder of Potluck. And will you introduce yourself, please, Daniel?
My name is Daniel Lay. I am an aspiring chef. I shouldn't say aspiring chef.
He's
I am
a chef.
I just feel humbled to say that. I hate when people call me chef. I'm like, yeah, I'm a chef. I'm running a pop-up right now called Fish Sauce Boogie in Milpitas. It's just takeout only on Thursdays. People come check out my what I have the menu for the week. They order on Monday, pick it up on Thursday. It's a mixture of like all of my variety of foods I like. Right now I'm focusing on curry noodles. That's kind of been my thing, but really like wherever I want to take you on around the world is what I'll be making. So
I love it.
Yeah.
And what I love about your cooking and your food is that it is refined. Like, we can tell that you are trained, you know what you're doing, you have a lot of experience, but it is always so comforting. Like, it is comfort food. It like makes you feel good. It, you know, it makes you feel happy. It's not fussy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of umami. You could tell there's care into it, but it's not fussy. You know what I mean? So that's what I love the most about your cooking. For sure. And that's what I love about what we're making today. So, chef, what are we making?
So we're making my all-time favorite Thanksgiving dish. It's mashed potatoes, but done more in advanced style. This is crispy mashed potato casserole. So we're making it to be made in advance so that, oh, speaking of which, I need to put this in the oven. So that it'll be ready by the time we're finished with this. It'll be magic. Okay, cool. So that's in there. Let me set a timer real quick so we know. But yeah, it's my all-time favorite recipe. I've made this many times. It's always a hit. Mashed potatoes with a crunchy layer on top. And then I'll show you how to make gravy after that too.
Awesome.
So ready to get started?
Ready to get started. Let's do it.
We're gonna peel potatoes first and then put it in our water bath thing right here. So let me show you the most efficient way to peel potatoes.
Okay.
Tell us. So here, hold on to this. So you're gonna peel, a lot of people potatoes peel like small, little tiny bits. You wanna get long strokes from top to bottom.
Okay.
Like that. So hold the potato in your hand. Like this. And then, I also use
Should we have a race?
You wanna race me?
No, no, I don't.
You sure?
I'm kidding.
How far are you on your potato?
Hold on.
Your potato looks fully clothed. Mine's
It's
almost
not.
naked.
It's not. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Getting there?
Hold on. I want a clean slate. I want a fresh start.
Okay, we'll start a new one. Here, I'll start a fresh one right here.
Wait,
Ready?
don't start it. No, but you're totally right. You have to do long strips.
Yeah, it's a lot more efficient. I actually learned this before I went to culinary school because like before I went to culinary school, I wanted to get better at my prep work, i.e. stuff like this.
Yes.
So I was just a prep cook.
Do you think these are comparable size?
Here,
That's
I'll get
fine.
a bigger one. Here, you can have a smaller one. How about that?
No.
Okay,
that one looks like I might hurt my hand.
Okay, cool.
Okay, that looks
All right,
okay.
ready?
Here we go.
Ready?
We're gonna have a
Little
competition.
peel off. Ready?
Ready? Wait,
3.
but keep talking.
Okay,
Go.
yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh,
So
sorry, I started.
So what was I saying again?
About culinary school.
Oh, culinary school, yeah. So,
a trick you learned.
Yes, so, before culinary school, I learned how to peel potatoes really fast because I wanted to get better at my prep work. So I was working at the Marriott, just doing prep work in the morning, getting there at 5 a.m., finishing
The
at
Marriott
2.
where?
Marriott in downtown San Jose.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's much cleaner than mine.
naked
This is
looking
what I
potato.
got in the same amount of time.
That's totally fine. I'm gonna clean this other one too. So I just got better with my prep work that way, so that when I would enter into the culinary school, that wouldn't be a weakness of mine, doing my prep work. And yeah, I'll just learn little tips from the people who've been doing it for years, like this, or just like setting up your station nice and neat.
I often feel like the prep work is when you can tell how experienced someone is.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's just like really, you learn that when you are professionally thrown into a place, you
This
know?
one might help. If you use your thumb to push against the bottom, you can peel it like a lot faster.
Yes.
That way. Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know. I don't know if my hand is big enough for that to.
It's honestly just muscle memory.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
The first couple times I was doing
And
this,
it
is
feels
very
strange
cumbersome
at
too.
first.
Yeah. And actually at school, I teach people how to do knife work, and the first thing I teach them is how to peel a potato faster. Because like in your first culinary fundamentals class, you are tested on your knife cuts, and you're given like a certain amount of time to do it. And if like you're taking half your time just to peel a potato, then you don't have any time to cut your
It's
potato.
true.
And
It's true.
So I teach them how to do it like really, really fast, and that way they can save time to take their time on their knife work.
Yeah, yeah.
Too.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
The one knife work, like the very fundamental thing about knife work that I still find like so against what my instinct is, you know, when you're holding it, don't stick your finger out.
Like on the
Yes.
hilts?
The people say you have to kind of hold it.
Yeah, you want to hold it more with the knife, like you're gripping it with your whole hand.
Yes, exactly,
There
as opposed to doing it
Right,
here.
right, yeah. I usually don't want to hold like here. There are some times where I would use like my index finger to hold onto it, like when I'm doing really delicate work.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time if you're trying to use a knife with force, then definitely don't hold your thumb there. Because your thumb is like the strongest part of your hand. And
Yeah.
if you're not using your thumb
Yeah.
to control the knife,
Exactly.
then like, you know, it's gonna go all over the place.
Exactly.
Cool, I'll let you finish that. I'm gonna rotate this
Yep.
board right here.
I think what's also so great about like a mashed potato casserole is like you bring texture to the mashed potatoes.
Yes, that's my
Right?
favorite part. Yeah, mashed potatoes are usually like really soft and kind of like one-dimensional. With the casserole setup, you can put whatever you want on it. The standard recipe that I found was from Serious Eats, like one of my all-time favorite places to get recipes. And if you wouldn't mind just clearing this out of the way, dumping it, or okay, just clear out of the way. Yeah, I usually go to Serious Eats to find any like basic recipes to start with. And then they had this one, I looked at it a couple years ago, like, this sounds amazing! You can put anything you want on it. You can put, like, put chips, you can put other types of veggies, garlic. I put furikake on mine. So like it's really limitless what you want to put on there.
So is this your favorite potato dish of all time, would you say?
The one to make, yes. But I would say my favorite, all-time favorite potato dish is at this spot called Gregor in Berkeley. And they make these like deep fried mashed potato balls, which I'm still trying to figure out to this day. I've seen them like scoop it from a container and drop it into a fryer. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try doing that too at home.
Is it just like a croquette?
No, because croquettes usually it's shaped, you know, like they shape it and they bread it. But this one is just like scooped and then dropped. And then like whatever.
Oh, it's not breaded.
It's not breaded at all.
Whoa.
Whatever's mixed into that batter or that you know, that thing helps to give it a crust right away.
Maybe a little bit of cornstarch.
I'm thinking it's some kind of flour or cornstarch or something. I tried it a couple different times, and I've gotten like kind of close, but it always just like, ends up like falling apart on me. So I haven't quite figured that one out yet.
Got it. And are we turning this baby on?
You can turn it on now.
Okay.
Yeah. So you always want to keep your peeled potatoes in water. That way it doesn't brown. And
do you have to put anything in the water?
I put a little salt in the bottom, so that way it'll flavor your mashed potatoes. Yes, you want to put it in water, and I just keep the water at cold to start with, because like you don't want to put your potatoes into already boiling water, because it'll only cook the outside, not the inside.
Right. You want it to slowly.
Yeah, you want to cook it all at once. Is that on high?
Rise.
Cool. Yeah, it's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, what's your favorite potato recipe?
I love a
favorite
gratin.
A gratin.
Yeah,
I remember learning to do that.
that is my favorite type of potato, because I think you
Super
get the
good.
best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You still get like the form and like the whole shape of the potato, but it is essentially mashed. Like that's how it like melts, right?
It'll soften in the oven.
I
yeah,
love
the
cream.
little scallops.
I mean, sometimes if they do, you do the crumbs on top there too. That's really good. That's probably my favorite way to prepare
that one's
potatoes.
Really good. Scalloped potato, cream, butter,
Yes.
cooking it into its sauce.
Make like a bechamel and just drizzle that all over.
Yeah.
So good.
Smack it all over. All right, do I have any other whole ones in there? I have 2 left.
Oh,
Cool.
quickly
I know,
before the
it's
water
like-
gets hot.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I have like iron hands. It's not even that hot yet. So we'll put it back over there on the hot burner so it can get heat up way quicker. And then after this, we can what can we do? We can make our crumble mixture.
Perfect. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best part.
Yeah, we were sampling
crumble.
it earlier.
And if anybody has any questions about what we're making or ingredients like that, just drop them into the chat, and then we will answer them as we go along.
I see a whole 4 of you guys on there.
4. Oh, that just dropped to 3 as you said it.
No,
Why'd you say that?
I jinxed it. Come back.
Come
Baby,
back.
come
We
back.
want you here. I wonder if one of them is my parents. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Or like one of my friends. You're like, oh, I gotta hit the gym now. Sorry. What you guys are making looks too good. I want to just focus on the workout. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be fun. Cool. All right, these are all cut.
Yay.
So now we're just gonna wait for this thing to
And
boil.
what kind of potatoes were these?
These are russet potatoes. They have a high starch content on it, perfect for making mashed potatoes. You could also use Yukon Gold, which are like more creamy. They don't have as much starch to it, so that will be like more creamy, more velvety. This one I like the texture better because it's like super duper silky.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nothing really going on right now, but in a little minute it'll boil up. I think I'll put it on this back burner over here. That way it'll go a lot faster. You think?
It does sound like it's going.
Yeah, we'll let it sit.
Just
If we're
let
in a-
it.
if
Just
we're
give
in
it a
rush,
chance.
yeah,
Give it a
We'll give it a chance. It'll go. Anyways, let's
Okay.
make our crumble mixture.
Crumble time.
Yeah,
All right.
Clean our board real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, don't have any more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Starchiness. Cool. Oh yeah, I think it's really going.
And for those who don't know you, when did you get into food?
Oh man, I write about this all the time. So, I grew up watching a lot of Food Network when I came home from high
Love
school.
Food Network.
Yeah, I would watch like Barefoot Contessa and Chopped and all those shows, and I really liked watching like Iron Chef America and Chopped. Those were my 2 favorites. And whenever I would watch something on there, I would always ask my mom like, "Mom, can I try to make that?" And she was like, "No," for the longest time. And then I guess one day she let me make something on my own for the first time. It was actually a baked item. It was a French silk pie. I talked about this last time too. Yeah, it's like a chocolate mousse-like consistency, very custardy, very silky.
Yeah.
Really delicious. And from there, I just started making my own meals when I come home from school. You know, my favorite thing to do is like make a egg and ham sandwich with a little bit of like mayonnaise, grill it on both sides.
So good.
Yeah. Oh my God, I thought this was open.
Okay, let's talk about what we're putting in.
So really anything can go in here. You want crunchy stuff, you want really savory stuff. I have garlic bits in it right now, garlic chips that are like not as crunchy anymore, but then they'll get crunchy in the oven. There's also bacon bits in there. We put some panko in it as well. I have some Gruyere cheese. The recipe called for cheddar, but as the French say, cheddar's not a real cheese, so we're using Gruyere.
I love Gruyere.
Swiss melty cheese.
And it's so nutty, and you know what I mean?
Nutty,
It's that's what I love about
I love
Gruyere and potatoes are really like a match made in heaven, honestly. They're perfect together.
Yeah, that's exactly why I got it.
Yay.
So I'm also adding some furikake because I really like the slight, oceanic, complex flavor of furikake. And you can add quite a bit of this
and I love the color that it brings.
Yeah, and it needs a little bit more like green color anyway. So some of that in there will be really, really good.
And there's sesame seeds in there too, which is so nice.
Gonna put some shallots. I'm gonna cut up some shallots and put it in there. And then the final touch, which you can add now, is
yes, our olive oil. Okay, so let me do my little pitch on this olive oil.
while I cut these shallots, go ahead.
So Potluck and Astor Farms teamed up to make this limited edition olive oil. We just announced it a couple of days ago. So it is there's 250 milliliters, or about 8.5 fluid ounces per tin, and there's 100 milligrams of THC. And this is full spectrum, single origin THC from Astor Farms, a really amazing, beautiful farm in Lake County, California, up north. Family owned and operated and ran and sun-grown everything. And so the farm is just absolutely beautiful. And actually Sam, one of the founders of Astor Farms, he is part of a family that also produces olive oil. So right down the road, we harvested this amazing olive oil. It's Nuovo olives. So it's literally the first of the harvest, and it was milled within hours of being picked off the branches. So this is first of the harvest olive oil. Really delicious, extra virgin olive oil. It's organic. The flavor profiles I would describe as very green, very peppery, and very bold. So if you like a nice, bold, punchy, high polyphenol olive oil, this is the one for you. And it has great texture, great flavor, and 100 milligrams of THC and totally full spectrum. So there's 8 milligrams of THC per 20 milliliter serving spoon that comes with. So per tablespoon, it's about 6 milligrams. So this is our newest launch. It's a limited release just for the holidays. We made a batch of like 1,500 units. So if you want one, get one, and it'll be great to have in the winter if you're doing small celebrations for Christmas and Thanksgiving. This will definitely elevate the experience, or just keep it to yourself and save it and use it for when you want. But that's our new Astor Farms olive oil. I'm super, super excited about this one. And how much are we gonna put in?
I'll let you choose.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put in
Okay.
2, 3, a whole cup if you wanted to. We can go to town.
I'm gonna say that was 20,
Put a little
40,
bit more than that.
60.
Okay, that's good. That's a lot now.
Okay, so that's about 30 milligrams of THC.
So we're probably gonna use about
weed.
half of this to go on top, maybe a little bit more. We can really pack this in. Oh man, I can
Oh, it
smell
smells so good. I was just gonna
good,
say.
yeah. All those cannabinoids like really coming out of this.
I wish you guys could smell this.
Man. Oh, I want to bathe in this.
I know, because it smells like the furikake, but you can smell a little bit of the cannabis. You know what I mean?
you
It does
definitely
smell
can.
a little bit green.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a little bit of it.
I want to try some too.
What do you think it needs? What did I not add in it so far?
A little bit of pepper,
A little bit of pepper, yes. A little bit of salt.
a little bit of salt even.
Yeah.
Not too much though.
Yeah.
Just a little. And it's almost there.
And there's a lot of peppery notes already in the olive oil too, so you don't need a lot. Definitely need a lot of salt though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it pulls together so nicely.
I know, right?
I
love this
literally
recipe.
could take this mixture and just put it on everything. Like it would be so good on like chicken. It would be so good just
Crusted
like
chicken.
tossed in greens. It'd be so good on macaroni and cheese.
Ooh.
Bring some
Yeah.
nice texture to mac and cheese.
Little like Asian inspired mac and cheese. Yeah, that'd be really good. I do that, or like mashed potato balls. Or
Oh my God.
something. Okay.
So
cool.
good.
All right. So as we're done with that, still waiting on this guy. It's gonna take a little while.
Okay.
Maybe we
Cool,
should put
but
on the
we've
back
mixed it,
burner.
huh?
Yeah. So that's the mixture. You could also add like chips to this thing too. If you wanted to go with like a spice route, I put some like flaming hot Cheeto chips in there maybe.
Ooh, that sounds
I was
really,
thinking
really
of
good.
putting like takoyaki ball chips in there.
I'll turn this on. I will say, however, that this thing does sometimes take a while to heat. So why don't we
That's
just
fine.
wait until it gets there?
Okay, cool. Yeah, whatever will go faster. So
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing to do left is like make the gravy, but
Should we start?
we can start doing
Yeah,
that.
we'll start with
let's
the
transfer over
gravy.
here. And I could talk more about making gravy too.
Okay.
So I put together this recipe to make it pretty easy for people to do. I mean, other than like some of the tools that I'm using is a little bit more advanced, but all the ingredients and the steps to make it should be relatively easy, like any home cook could do it. So what I'm gonna show you guys how to do is
Should I keep
make,
this on?
it's on right now, is how to make gravy using like a box chicken stock.
Okay.
I refined this one a little bit more. So I took chicken stock that I just got from the store, about a quart of it. I first took some leeks, some onions, some garlic, chopped that up, browned it with like a little bit of oil, and then I deglaze it with white wine. So like at the bottom of the pan, you'll start seeing like little brown bits on there. That's called fond. It's a lot of like delicious flavor. So you want to throw some little bit of white wine in there, get all that stuff off, and then once like the alcohol smell is gone, then I added my chicken stock, my boxed chicken stock in there. And then I also added like dried shiitake mushrooms. What else did I add in there? Man, I literally just like grabbed whatever I could find in my fridge. Oh, I put like a couple sprigs of rosemary, some lemon peels.
So
Yeah.
does that mean that the brown color of gravy almost always comes from the deglazing process?
It actually comes usually from the pan drippings from the turkey with that
Right,
as well.
right.
So in combinations of the two, like, you know, when you're making your turkey,
Yes.
you get all the nice
Yeah.
like burnt bits at the bottom. So you'll take that little tray out, throw in a little bit of flour in there, and then like make it turn into a gravy, and that's where you get all the flavors at. But right now, I'm making this without all that delicious pan dripping, so make do with what I got. I also fortified this with a little bit of miso in there, a touch of fish sauce to bring out more umami flavor.
Interesting.
So yeah, I like to go to Flavor Towns with my sauces.
Interesting.
So.
I would have never thought to put miso in.
Oh, I love
But
using
like
miso
it's
and
actually,
everything.
I mean, it's perfect for gravy.
Yeah. Because it's already such a strong flavor too. And depending like how you want your gravy to complement all your meals, maybe you want to put like more flavor. You know, last year I put whole black truffles in my gravy and I blended that stuff together.
Oh,
Yeah, it was so good.
that sounds so good.
That was really, really decadent. But if you want to go for like something a little lighter, then I would go I'd start with like a dashi broth and then like add chicken to it. Maybe put a little bit of ginger in there too, little scallions, more like that Asian flavor profile.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really like how you want it to complement. I mean, a sauce is meant to complement food, not be like the star.
Totally.
You know? So I made this to be pretty universal with just about anything. And if you want to try a little bit of it right now.
I'm just gonna sniff it, but trying it is even better.
So it's
Oh, it
cold
smells
right
so
now.
good.
So
Let's wait until we've got it
Okay,
heated, and
cool.
then let's do it. And
Yeah.
then when you were initially cooking this guy up, how long did you
just like 45 minutes, an hour at
simmer,
most.
like low or?
Yeah. So vegetables, they extract all their flavors within like 45 minutes to an hour. You don't need any longer than that. And I was just like tasting it. Oh, it needs salt, it needs this and that, and refined it from there. But yeah,
Beautiful.
and I strained it, and it's nice thick liquid. So it was like a much paler color before I started adding everything to this. So it's gonna get probably even a little bit darker once it turns into a gravy. too.
Lovely.
Yeah,
So we're gonna heat it?
So we're actually gonna make a roux first. So what a roux is, this is like a culinary term.
I do know what a roux
you
is,
do?
thanks to Ina Garden.
Oh, okay. From your knowledge, what is a roux and what is this purpose?
It's kind of like a base with which you make sauces, and you take flour, kind of cook out the flour scent, but then you add butter,
Any kind of fat.
any kind of fat.
So what fat can we use?
We can use olive oil. I've never thought of making a roux with. I always think of like butter or cream.
Usually butter. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never thought about doing it with an olive oil.
Put some olive oil in there, and then I'll show you.
What, like a tablespoon?
Let's go with like a couple tablespoons of
Okay.
it. Yeah. We can be pretty generous. That's good. That's good. That pours hella fast.
It does.
So we're gonna get this a little bit warm, and then here you want to look at this. The flour is gonna start mixing into it, and oh my god, it smells so good. So
it
usually
smells
you want to
good
go
already.
about like 50-50. That looks about right. I can
Yeah.
always add a little bit more later
Yeah.
on. And I'm gonna start
and
cooking
it's a low temperature. I just
Yeah.
want to emphasize that it's low.
pretty low.
And then when you're cooking with low temperature and you're using our cannabis-infused oils, it should not cook out the THC. The THC is highly stabilized, and the degradation point for the THC is actually higher than the smoke point of olive oil itself. So,
What that word you just said?
degrade.
Oh, okay. It sounded a lot more like scientific.
The degradation point.
Degradation. yeah. I was like, that didn't register in my brain what you said.
Degradation point. I feel like there are certain words I use that people are like, what? Like I use degradation to describe cannabis. I use herbaceous, which
I like that
people
term.
outside of the culinary world, like people in cannabis, sometimes will like roll their eyes at me. And they're
Right.
like, you really said herbaceous
Herbaceous.
to basically describe what means weedy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
does it taste like weed? I'm like, it's very
It's
herbaceous. But you know,
herbaceous.
it's the proper term to use.
I like that. I think it's a more fancier way of saying dank. So.
It is. You're so right.
Yeah.
Dank, it's
Yeah.
like it's effectively the same thing.
Yeah. So when you're making a roux, the longer you cook it, the darker it's gonna turn into. What we're trying to get is a pale roux. So we're right about there. I'm waiting for it to like brown a little bit more. It goes from white to pale to yellow, brown, and then black. And then the darker it becomes, the more liquid you need to add to it to get it thickened. So usually you only use like black roux for like making gumbo or something like that. So most of the time you're only gonna use like brown or pale roux.
Have you ever made like churros or like choux or anything like that?
I made a pâte à choux and like little cream puffs and churros. Actually, no, I haven't made churros before, but I definitely made cream puffs before. I really, really enjoyed making them. Why you ask?
I don't know. I just was looking at this and thinking about it turning into a dough.
Look at this, would pipe it into a,
Exactly.
into a nice shoe.
Exactly. Oh, it smells so good.
It's getting there. It's getting there. Maybe crank it up just a little bit more.
Perfect.
Yeah, this will take some time.
You know, this is really cool that we're doing this because I remember when you would come to New York when I was living in New York and you were in school.
Yeah.
You were in school
That's
at
when
that
I first
time.
met you too.
Yeah, that was when we first met.
Yep.
And also, our cannabis history goes far back.
Oh, yes.
Our cannabis history goes far back because you guys, little known fact, one of my best friends who is my plug in New York, you is also one of your very good friends.
Very, very good
And you were also her plug.
I was her main plug, and she distributed to like
She distributed to all
of
of
her,
us, yes.
her
And we always knew
man.
like Hillary.
Shout out Hillary.
Thanks, Hillary, if you're
Thank
watching. But Hillary had the best weed, and she really prided herself on California quality, California prices.
Oh yes.
Which was very rare in Manhattan, let me tell you.
Yeah, well,
So our history with cannabis goes way, way back.
super deep.
It predates your culinary
big
career
facts.
as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And my cannabis career. So
Okay, now this is getting.
it's all very full circle.
Yes. So this is kind of what you were looking for. It should be like a little clumpier. It was pretty liquidy earlier, but now this is like the consistency that I want. I was like slowly adding flour to it until it started getting like, more clumpier and almost gritty. This is what you're mainly looking for. So I'm gonna let it like cook and like chill out and
Okay.
whatnot for a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm messing it up too much.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you essentially, this is like a nice stock that you made, and then you're gonna pour it in.
Really, I mean, you can just use water if you want to just see how a roux will turn it into like a thicker liquid. But flavorful stocks, even if you get like ramen or something or pho or whatever, you can turn that into a gravy just by doing this method too.
And then just like personal question I have
Yes.
for you, I mean asking for me, is like sometimes I'll make a sauce
Right.
and I'm like, I need it to be thicker, but I did not make a roux in the beginning.
Right.
So if you need to kind of last minute thicken something, what's
Yes.
your recommendation?
Any kind of starches, you could use cornstarch, you could use, I like rice flour because it's pretty flavorless. So what you would do is you would make a slurry, which is kind of like this, but basically you would take that starch, flour, whatever, add it to water to get it like thickened, and then slowly drizzle that into your sauce.
Got it.
And then
And there won't be like a flavor to it?
So you actually want to cook it out. So there will be, if you like make the sauce and eat it right away, it'll taste like kind of floury, kind of starchy. So you want to cook it out a little bit, like 5-10 minutes, on a nice like gentle boil. And then it should cook out all the starchy flavors, and then it'll be fine. It'll be nice and thick.
Is there any way to do it with regular flour, or is that flavor just a little bit too strong?
It might get clumpy. Yeah, it might get a little clumpy because of the higher gluten content that's within like AP flour, bread flour, and all that stuff. With cornstarch and everything else, it's much lower, if not at all, like rice. That's why I like using rice flour, because like rice flour has no gluten in it,
Right.
so it won't be as like clumpy
Totally.
and whatnot. So, yeah.
Cool. And I hear the potatoes boiling back here.
Ho.
They're really,
Okay, once it gets to a raging boil, that's when I'm gonna start
that's true.
checking
It
onto
actually
it.
doesn't look like a raging boil. It
No, not
sounded
yet.
like it would be a raging boil.
I know, right? It's hard to go
but it
back
wasn't.
then. You're like, help me, I'm boiling. That's why I think when I hear food, I'm like,
You're like the food speaking.
I'm just some
It's speaking to
cruel
me.
man. Cruel dude.
And do you have to like tend to it as
You
actively
don't
as you are?
really. So why I'm like mixing it is so I don't want it to burn to the bottom of the pan. So since it's on such a low temperature right now, I probably don't need to really touch it. You just don't want it to burn. If it was like, say, cranked up to like super duper high, then like every once in a while you wanna move it around. But since it's like really gentle right now, I really don't have to. But
Oh, and Hillary said, "What's up?"
oh, what's up, Hillary?
What's up, Hill?
Oh man,
We
that's
miss
cool.
you over here.
Yeah.
Come back. Come back.
Hey. Yeah, I like having the chat right here.
I
too.
know. How you two doing? I
We
miss
miss
you
you
too.
too,
We miss
yeah.
you. Come back.
Please do.
Come
I'll
back
feed you
here
again.
and visit. Oh,
I'm
she's back
On
December.
the 1st.
12/1.
Oh, that's hecka soon.
I know, that is soon. And I'll be back up here like beginning of December too.
Okay,
We
word.
can all hang out.
Yeah, I was planning on bringing some little gift boxes for you guys of
Aw.
like different people I've been working with.
Love
and,
that.
So
Love that, love that,
got
love
one
that.
for you and Phil. And
Cool.
Hillary, so.
Yay, Hill, come back
Yeah,
soon.
Yeah.
She's in cold New York right now.
I know, frigid, cold. I can't imagine doing like outdoor dining in that. Right now.
That's what I'm saying. You have no choice but to dine outside. And New
Yeah.
Yorkers are like resilient / desperate enough,
Yeah.
right, to
Yeah.
do it. But like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Just be out there in your puffer?
I guess, or just, okay, here now we go. Yeah, I mean, I guess people would just be dining out instead of like, their evening dress. They'd be in their Canada Goose and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a little bit color. I want to get a little bit darker before I start adding this in, because then it'll thicken like way too fast. It'll be more like floury tasting if I don't add in enough liquid to it. So I'm gonna keep let it chill. There's some parts of it that was starting to like slightly brown.
Can I mix it a little?
You can mix away, my lady.
Oh,
Oh yeah, watch here if you want to use it. It
I
gets
got
hot.
it. I'll be your sous chef.
Thank you.
What is something you learned working in kitchens that you really didn't expect that you would learn? Or any kind of different expectations, like expectations versus reality.
Right. I keep saying this all the time, but organization is definitely the one thing that I gained the most experience on, and I'm still trying to get better at it to this day. Like even before you're thinking of making a dish or going to buy the ingredients, you got to have a list of stuff to cost it out and know like how much it's going to cost per plate. Or like how are you going to plan on setting up your area like this? I could have drawn all this out, and like that would be a lot more efficient. But we had a lot of time, so like all right, we'll figure it out as we go. Even like setting up your station. So like when you have an area where you're going to cook like these dishes, how are you going to reorganize it so that it's efficient for you, so everything is within reach, and you're a lot more streamlined. So organization is like the one thing that it really like awakened for me. I'm gonna check on the thing real quick. Anyways,
do you find yourself kind of applying those same principles when you're just cooking for yourself and casually?
No, I would say at home, cooking at home is way different from cooking professionally.
Right, you want to like be unplanned a little,
I
maybe?
wouldn't say unplanned. I still like write out my recipes. I still have like my little list. I always like having a list out. Here I don't really have one because I already know exactly what we're doing. But usually I have a list of like all my tasks that I'm doing for that day. Maybe on the right side I'll have my grocery list too, and I just like to cross it off as I go.
Oh, we're getting good color in here, by the way. Yeah.
Ooh, that looks good. It's getting there. It's almost there. Almost there.
Just
Usually you would do this on like a super duper high heat.
Really?
Well, so like get to the color faster, and then you're just like mixing it. But since we're working with cannabis infused olive oils, we don't want to lose some of the potency.
Correct.
We're gonna do it like nice and slow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You could also do this in the oven too, with like a pretty low temperature, and then you won't have to mix it around so much because it'll be at a really slow simmer that it'll get there without burning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
It's another cool thing about like working in professional kitchens is that you learn like different ways to do things.
Yeah.
There's no one way to boil potatoes, or there's no one way to make your roux.
Yeah.
There's like multiple different ways, and you kind of just learn it as you go.
Totally.
So.
And we have Saltwater Poppy saying hi.
Oh, hi, Brandon.
Karen says hi to you both. This is informative and cool.
Cool, I would hope so.
I wish we had smell vision. I wish that you guys had smell vision too.
That's like my dream. I thought that when I was a kid. I was like,
Didn't you think we'd be here by now?
Yeah, right? Or like, I wish there was a way where you see like, food advertisements and there's a button you could press and then boom, out comes the food. I need to invent that already.
And can we remind everyone you guys were making a mashed potato casserole.
My favorite dish.
With an amazing crumb finish that's been made with Gruyere, garlic chips, bacon bits, green onions, breadcrumbs, furikake, and our latest, Astor Farms olive oil. So we've got all of this in. Alex Huff says hi too. And then Brandon wants to know when the pop-up is.
So I have 2 pop-ups going on. The soonest one is this weekend. I'm in collaboration with 2 chefs from The Progress and State Bird. And we got together and we're doing Asian-inspired dishes with a culinary twist. It's out in Oakland at this spot called Taiwan Bento, but we're running as Nomads Junction.
Love it.
Our intersections of all of our culinary journeys.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
And how
so-
do people get there? Like social media tags?
Social media is probably the best way to find out about us. It's at nomads.junction. And on there we'll have our menu, put in any updates we have. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, cool. We are ready to rock and roll with the next part. So a little more about Nomads Junction. This upcoming weekend is the last weekend we'll be operating out of Oakland. We're also putting on a special from my other pop-up, Fish Sauce Boogie, that I run every Thursday. I'm taking a break right now, but every Thursday is a pickup from Milpitas. You order in on Monday, pick up on Thursday, and like we'll work out time and all that stuff. So this upcoming weekend, we're putting on one of my dishes that I made. It's chili crab curry noodles.
Wow.
So I got the idea of taking Singaporean chili crabs, which is like really, really, really spicy, sour, like a whole mixture of different flavors all in once.
Yeah.
With crab in a gravy sauce, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to incorporate that into like a ramen noodle. So I pick apart all the crabs for you. I take all the shells, make a stock out of it, put it into the curry, make it thick enough so it like clings onto the curry or to the noodles as well. Add on a couple of other like crunchy elements in there. Put like pomelos because it's in peak season right now.
Are you guys listening to this?
Yeah.
He's
Man,
just
I'm salivating thinking about this
teasing
now.
us.
We're only gonna do a super limited run of this, so like if you guys happen to be in the Oakland area, come on Saturday. We'll open up at noon. It's gonna be really, really good. A lot of people actually been hitting me up on like my pop-up, the Fish Sauce Boogie, like, hey, when are you gonna put that again? I missed it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if you come up this Oakland or this weekend, we'll have it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm like, I can't, it's too far, but maybe I'll put it back like in December or something. So if I get enough like interest in it, like a lot of people hit me up about it, like I might put on my December menu.
You
again.
gotta,
So-
if you gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah. I mean, that's really where I was going with like this whole pop-up thing, like out of the pandemic. I was just trying to figure out, okay, what can I make that's like I really like to make, but people like as well. So just been trying to do different dishes and
And
see where it
again,
goes,
just like
so.
example of something that is refined and complex, but so comforting.
Hi, Chris.
You know what I mean? Hi. What's up,
Cool.
Chris? We've got Fran in the house and Amanda. What's
Very
up, you
cool.
guys? My favorite people are
All right,
on.
all right. Now we got a nice,
now we're in
darker
business.
roux now. It's changed many shades, almost 50 shades. Oh my God, I was still about to say 50 shades different, but that didn't come off the tongue like I wanted to. Anyway, so it's a little bit darker now. Now we're ready to add in our roux. Why don't you slowly start to drizzle it in while I whisk it in with my
Okay.
tiny whisk.
Tiny whisk.
Tiny whisk. So we do a little bit at a time. Yeah, let's hold it off right there for now. See how our gravy is
Oh, it smells so
incorporating.
good.
Cool, add more. Go ahead, add more. There we go. Let's go, baby. Nice, you can add more. It's still really, really thick. So we're just slowly allowing the liquid to kind of marry and join up with this nice little gravy, friends.
Hillary asked us to describe the smell.
Oh. There's like, it's like a chicken soup with like a little bit of miso in there.
I mean, it smells like what you think gravy's gonna smell like, but better.
Way better. So
But
I
way
took like
better.
a box gravy and I just added a bunch of veggies to it that I roasted to get it more and more flavor. Because box gravy, or not gravy, sorry, chicken stock, box chicken stock. That stuff's not that great. It's really flat. It's not that flavorful. So I added a bunch of more stuff to it to like really like added oomph and more umami to
And
it.
you can smell a little bit of the miso in there too. I mean, miso is such a nice smell to it.
It's very funky, very flavorful. We could add a lot more.
It kind of smells like a really good ramen broth to an extent. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I did also add like a little bit of red boat fish sauce to this too.
I would describe it as like a
Red Bull.
really, really, really good, like thick ramen broth. There's like a little
is getting
hint
there.
of that in terms of smell too.
So we're just slowly adding it in until it gets the consistency that we want. And since I'm doing this for like a mashed potato gravy, I don't want it to be like super duper thick. Let me get a spoon actually. So this is a test that we do at school, a big spoon.
Do you do back of the spoon and?
Yes, yep. So you just take the spoon, mark the back. If it like shows like that, that means it's a pretty good sauce. So that's
Perfect.
what you call medium nappe. Oh, this is super good.
Should I put the rest in?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I mean, how do you want it? Do you want it to be like thinner or thick like this? mashed potatoes.
I feel like a little bit thinner, honestly.
A little bit thinner? Yeah,
because,
add more then.
because the mashed potatoes are so rich
Yes.
what we're making.
Yes. I think that's going to be
Yeah, I
perfect.
think that's good. I'll whisk this if you want to check on the potatoes.
Yes, please.
I love the tiny whisk.
Woohoo, this thing is going. A hot tub time
Tiny
machine over here. All right, let's see. I feel like I really boiled this already. Oh, it's getting there. You keep saying that. It's getting there.
Oh, people voted thick and I voted thin. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I went against what the users want.
They wanted thick,
I-
thick boys. Well, I mean, we could cook it down to make it thicker again, or
Well, I
can-
don't know. This is pretty thick, you guys.
It is pretty thick.
As an
already.
eyewitness, I'm telling you that this is actually pretty thick.
Let's see. Let's show them what it looks like.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
not. It's still a thick boy.
Is this thick enough for y'all? This is like this is a pretty thick sauce. This is like past turkey gravy now. This is almost like starting to be like a brown cheese sauce. with
It
salt
looks
and
so
so
good.
Yeah, it's really good too.
And Hillary says, but also, porque no los dos? I mean, we're not going to make two consistencies of gravies. That's a little bit extra, don't we think? This looks so
Alright.
good. What were Thanksgivings like growing up for you?
For me, it
Mm-hmm.
was always going back for seconds. That's what I remember the most. Okay, it still gets to go.
But did you have like a very quote unquote Americanized Thanksgiving? What kind of other food did you have?
So it was always a blend of American and Asian. Definitely had the traditional like turkey, ham, cranberry sauce, mashed potato gravy, but then we would also have like egg rolls or like glass noodle dish thing. Like my aunt would like to make a soup for every year. It's usually like a very Asian styled soup. And then like lately when I started making food for it, you know, I took over mashed potato duty because it's my favorite. And then I would just add in like a couple other side dishes that I think would be really, really cool. Usually try to focus on like vegetable forward dishes because
Totally.
great time of the year for root vegetables. And my
Totally.
mom's pescatarian, so like I wanted to make food that like she can eat as well.
Yeah.
So usually I have Thanksgiving on my mom's side of the family. So yeah, we've been doing that every year. Well, except
Nice.
last year I did it with some friends
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Sounds delish.
Oh yeah. Actually last year's was really cool because that was the first time that I did everything by myself. I did 8 or 9 dishes, all in the tiny little kitchen, probably smaller than this, one stove. Yeah, it was great. It felt very accomplished.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday
Same here.
because it's not that stressful of a holiday. You just get together and eat.
Yeah. Well, it's not stressful for the people that's just eating. Maybe it's
true.
stressful for the cooks
I
in the
don't know,
kitchen.
but I normally cook for Thanksgiving too, and
True.
I miss it. I like it a lot. And
Yeah.
a lot of people in the group chat, we used to do Friendsgiving in New York together, so it makes me really sad that we can't do that this year. But Fran and I used to host Friendsgiving in our apartment, and all of our friends would come and bring stuff, and we would always, our problem was always like nobody wanted to make the turkey. So it was like sidesgiving. One time,
Sidesgiving. Oh,
Sidesgiving.
like you guys
just
only
a
bring
bunch of
sides.
sides,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
one time Fran
That's always
bought a
pretty
giant
fun.
turkey leg that no one ate, and called it a day. I mean, the turkey leg was like this big though, so.
When she flied in from Disneyland.
She goes, remember when we made like 30 pounds of mashed potatoes? That's
Oh
true.
my gosh.
And also a few years ago, we had a mashed potato competition that nobody wanted to participate in, but we forced them to. And I think the classic mashed potato actually won over the pesto and the loaded. So sometimes classic is.
I mean, simple's key.
Yes.
You know. So what you want to get to for your mashed potatoes is a nice like easy poke. Like it can easily come
Beautiful.
in and out. No resistance or anything. So now this is good.
We're good.
Now
The
this is
potatoes
good.
are ready.
We golden. All right, back here, I'm gonna be straining it out in my nifty little strainer.
Excellent.
Oh man,
There
this is
they
hot.
go.
So, oh, I missed a potato. There's one like hidden way down there.
Oh, Shivani goes, it did win, but she lost. She had scalloped taters. She's over it. She's over the loss. glad to hear that you've recovered from the potato competition of 2018.
Cool. So these potatoes are pretty wet right now. They're not yet. No, we're not ready yet. So these are pretty wet right now.
He was like, stop clapping.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, these are ready. I'm gonna put them in the
hold on.
oven for a little bit just to dry them out a little bit.
Interesting. So we
yeah.
boiled the potatoes and now we're drying them.
Yeah, because there's a lot of water that got like, lodged into the pores of the potato, and like you want to get some of that water out. So you're gonna put it in the oven a little bit, dry it out for a little bit, and that way you're not gonna end up with like watery potatoes.
Interesting.
So don't mash it up right away.
Interesting.
Let it dry out. If
I
you
have
don't
never done that.
Really?
No,
Yeah,
I've never
well-
dried my potatoes, and then I've normally just mashed it right away. I was like, the moisture of it is going to help it mash.
That's true.
That's what
That is
in
true.
my mind. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's cooked, so it's not like it would really make a difference.
Right, right. You could also just kind of leave it out because it's steaming already,
Yeah.
so that like all the waters is going to be escaping anyways.
Yeah,
So I'm just mixing it so it doesn't burn at the bottom.
totally.
But yeah, you want to just like dry it just a little bit. That way it won't be watery, and then you could add more liquid to it later on
Fascinating.
if you need to.
Fascinating. Good to
Yes.
know.
Did a lot of mashed potatoes in culinary school. My favorite thing. Speaking of, we have this awesome tool right here that we'll be using to make our mashed potatoes. This is like if you're like an absolute mashed potato lover, right? This is not for the value-driven person. Just get a masher if you want it like nice and rustic. Or there's also a thing called a ricer, which is kind of like yeah, that one's cool too. But like I make a lot of mashed potatoes, so this tool is amazing for that.
I have always wanted one of these.
They're
I've always
awesome.
wanted one.
I love it.
I've always wanted one to like make soups in. And
You can
stuff.
make, yeah, it's great for making
like pea soups and whatnot.
pea soup. We made hummus in it as well.
Yum.
Yeah, but mainly for potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the mill, obviously you can tell us more about it, but I feel like it just really retains the texture.
Yes.
Of what you're making.
So down here, there's like little different plates that you can change up for the different thickness that you want to come out. This is like the medium size one, but there's one that's also finer or bigger. So depending on what you're trying to get out for texture and size, this is the perfect tool for it. And then we'll show you guys like how fast it is. It like literally takes seconds to do this. So let me check on the potatoes real quick.
And
See if they're
Shivani
nice.
is asking us what else could a ricer be used for?
Besides those two, I mean, just to mash up anything that you want it to be a fine texture and very even. So, man, I mean, I haven't really fully explored it quite yet because I just got this.
Yes.
So, but I know like hummus, mashed potatoes, those are just a few things that kind of come off the top of my head, but
Anything you want to make small.
yeah, very small, very smooth.
Make it small and smooth.
Is another towel? I'll put this right here.
You can also just put it on the...
It's hot. Well, that's true.
Yeah, but the table was made for it if you want to...
True. Heat resistant. All right, cool. Let's get these bad boys in here without falling and dropping them. How am I gonna
Do
this?
I get to mill it?
You can, yeah.
I would
can.
love to.
You can do all my millings. All my millings. Okay, let's do this without dropping them. And you know what? I'm just gonna grab a few at a time. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it in a bowl. That way I can easily. Did I bring a second bowl? Oh, I did. Ha! It's underneath this guy. Boom. There it is.
Like magic.
There it is. Let me scoop this all up in here.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be easier. I'll start you off with some too.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, hold on. I need to like...
Okay.
I need to like
I
put
got you.
it...
Here, lift that bowl up real quick.
Ah,
There.
the
Now it's not
towel
moving.
trick.
Yes. Now it's
No,
not
but
gonna
it is
move.
still kind of moving. I'll just hold it like this.
Cool. Every once in a while, you want to reverse the other way too. That way, it can like get the
clear
other
it?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
More in there. And a little neat trick about using the mill is that since you got to add your butter in, add it directly into the mill. If I could open up this damn piece of butter. There, you can just throw that guy in there, and it'll mush up the mill and mix it all incorporated into the
This is porn.
the thing. Literal food porn.
Literal food porn. Oh, it smells so good. Because the potatoes were hot and the butter hit it, you could smell it right away.
Let's put some more in. Christine's doing a fantastic job milling. She would get a grade A plus
Thank you.
in fundamentals class.
Thank you.
Cool. How are we doing? Good? Did I give you too much?
No.
She looks stuffed.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry if
my-
the audio is. I don't know
we'll
how.
bleep that out. Almost there. I'm gonna help you out too. We'll feed these in here.
Yeah.
There you go. Teamwork makes the dream work. There you go. Now, if you were doing this without this thing, this would take you like hours. But it mashes it pretty quick. Oh, I know why you gotta go the other way. That's why.
Freaking A. I've been doing it the wrong direction the whole time. I was
I
like,
didn't
why
notice
is
it.
it going? I was like,
this
it's really
doesn't
not
sound
going.
right. Okay, then now the sound sounds right. Okay, now we're in
Okay,
business.
now we're getting somewhere.
There you go. Let's put the rest of it in here. Boom.
How could you embarrass me like this?
I didn't even realize that you were turning it the wrong way. It's so funny. All right. Cool. Do you have any Thanksgiving
Can you push me?
favorites? Yes.
Potatoes
Okay.
are my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question, no contest. And I love green bean casserole.
Ooh.
And I
me
love
too.
making my own cranberry sauce too.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's super easy. It's literally just like one standard bag of cranberries, and then orange juice and sugar. And
The acid breaks it down.
and then I've been using Potluck honey in it too. So I've been doing THC cranberry sauces.
I think I remember you shared a status about that or something.
I did,
Like,
I did.
Should I get my family really high this year?
You know, I just did a really light dose.
Oh, okay,
I did
just to
I
kinda-
I actually don't think it ended up making a material difference because
Yeah.
people didn't eat that much cranberry sauce.
Right.
But-
It's just kind of like a tingle. For
But like, I'll make cranberry sauce and I'll keep it for a while.
Yeah, you could put it on anything.
Yeah, I love putting it on toast, like as if it were just regular jam.
Toast, and because of the grilled cheese. Since it's sweet, you can add it to like a barbecue sauce. You can put it on your fish if you wanted to.
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, for sure. Yeah.
I remember at BU, where I went to college, they had a place
put that on.
that was like literally like Thanksgiving all year round. And they just had Thanksgiving food.
Beautiful.
Let me scrape the bottom.
Oh.
Okay.
A
Hillary,
plus,
look
plus.
away because you have that thing
Don't
where
look
you don't
at
like
it.
to look
Don't
at the
look
holes.
at it.
But
If you have
was it tryptophobia?
tryptophobia.
You have
yes.
tryptophobia, don't look at this.
Censoring. But it's a
But-
good thing you're scraping off the bottom. Yeah, you want to get all the little potato bits out of that. All right, cool. Now we have our super awesome, very evenly
Beautiful!
milled mashed potatoes. And then we're gonna add the last two ingredients, which is some heavy cream. So this is about 2.5 pounds of potatoes. We're gonna put about, let's say like half a cup of
Should I
of
mix
cream.
it with
Yeah,
the
go ahead and
spatula?
start mixing it. And then you could put either sour cream or I like to use creme fraiche because it's a lot lighter. So put about half a cup
Incredible.
for 2 pounds of potatoes.
This looks so good.
Super good. I'm gonna clean this actually.
It's
now.
crazy how like when it processed, it just made it completely fluffy.
Super smooth.
Because there's no work that I'm doing here. I'm literally just folding it all in, you
Yeah.
know?
If you had some like rustic, like hand mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
would've
it
been
would not turn out
a
like
lot
this.
harder. That's why I love that tool. Very, very happy with that investment.
And
How
it
many-
smells like cream
So-
in the best way.
Yeah.
Cool.
That looks super good. Cool. Let's try a little bit. I probably need a little bit of salt, but
Okay.
let's try a little bit first. See where we're at. Yeah, definitely do salt. But not too much.
So good though.
We salted the water beforehand, so that also adds to the salinity in the season of the potatoes. So always salt your water when you're boiling potatoes, and then that way you don't need to add like copious amounts of salt either too. Because that salt that you added into the potato first binds to like the potato molecules already. Versus when you're putting it on here, it's just coating it on, resting it on top.
Right.
So the saltiness will hit a little differently. This one might be a little like gritty and granular, right? Whereas like when you're putting it into the pot, it's like perfect already. Cool. How it tastes? Good.
I like it like this. You might want it a little bit saltier.
I think it's fine, especially since we have a pretty flavorful gravy already.
Incredible.
So we're good. Okay, now let's put it into our little
dish.
casserole. I got these cool little bougie like gold.
These are
aluminum ones.
bougie, and they're sturdy.
Super duper sturdy. Yeah, I like it. So go ahead and slather that stuff on there. You can either scoop it out, or you can also like lift it in too.
Yeah, there's probably a better way to do it than
Here,
what
let me
I'm
show you.
currently doing. Yes, please.
Okay, here
Also,
you go.
I'm just very weak, and to hold that with
It's
my
okay.
wrist.
Yeah, you don't actually have to lift it all. Just like scoop it up like
Right.
that, plop it down. That
No,
way you don't need to.
I clearly don't have logic skills.
It's okay.
I'm too mesmerized by the potatoes. My brain won't work properly.
Nice dreamy cloud potatoes.
I'm being seduced by potatoes.
Cool. All right. So we got all the potatoes in there. And make it all nice and smooth. When I was doing this earlier and made the other batch, felt like I was like decorating a cake almost. It's like making it all
like
nice
frosting.
and smooth. Yeah, like savory Thanksgiving frosting. Cool. So make it like pretty smooth. And next, this typically would go in the fridge, but I just want to show you guys how we. Actually, I don't know what I put in there. My fingers. How we bread it. So.
Oh, and isn't this the best part?
So usually it'll come out of the fridge nice and cold, and then we'll just glob on like lots of breadcrumbs on this thing.
It looks unreal.
Yeah, you could put quite a bit of breadcrumbs on it. So it'll be like that, nice and piled on there. And this thing is gonna rise too. This
It
will start
is?
to, yeah, here, I'm gonna show you in a second. I'm gonna work some magic. So.
This is some Food Network magic.
Food Network magic. Watch out, stream. All right. So
I'm
with
gonna hold
this,
it
we
here.
pop it in the oven, 350 degrees.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
This guy's going in.
Anyway, yep. So we'll pop it in the oven, and then when it comes out.
Oh, amazing.
Come out like that. So it rises up a little bit too.
It rose like a little souffle. Oh, I touched it. Why'd I do that? I'm fine.
That's okay.
I literally went to like caress it. Oh, I can't get over how beautiful it looks. And you can
Right.
tell like the sides where the potatoes are like crisping.
Yeah, you're gonna get a little extra crispy potato bits
Oh,
too. Where's my big, nice?
this
big
is the
serving
most
spoon?
exciting thing to happen to me in a while. And I'm just making sure our gravy is nice and smooth too.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
shall I cut into it?
Yes, please do the honors.
You got
Oh.
a nice like crackling layer to it.
Right? I like
Yeah.
is the ASMR. I'm gonna move my mic closer. I'm gonna move my chest closer to the potatoes. Oh, they sound
That sounds so
Beautiful.
good.
beautiful. Cool.
Cool. I'm gonna give you a little bit of the gravy on top too. Unless you want to try it with this first. You
yeah.
get more of the crust.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try it without the gravy first. So I've got in my plate, I've got the mashed potatoes, I've got a little bit of the garlic.
My God. Look at that. Oh. That's hot. Ooh.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you asked for a super duper thick gravy, and this one's thick
That is
with like 12 C's.
Thick,
Thick AF.
thick gravy.
I'm gonna spill a little bit of yours on there.
Thank you.
Dude, it almost looks like dulce de leche.
A little bit.
Right?
A little bit. Let's try just the gravy on its own.
Okay.
It's good. It's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's because I used a sweet white wine. Whenever you're making this and you want to use wine, don't use sweet white wine or Moscato or any of those like cheap white wines. It was the only one I had in the house, and I was like, I
But
got
you know,
the rest of it too.
it's good because hold on, let me try it together first. Tell you.
I try to make it work, and you know, worked with what I got. So I added more miso, fish sauce, other stuff to kind of.
No, it's
balance it
good
out.
because this is so salty. That to have the gravy be a little bit sweet is like really good together. It balances each other out. Like
Yeah.
it makes it more mellow. Usually gravy makes something more salty. But I
Wow.
like that this has kind of the opposite effect.
This is like an accidental brilliance.
You're onto something with sweet gravy.
I love incorporating sweet and savory together somehow. So this is like intentionally intentional.
Oh, it's so good, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, I get to eat this whole thing.
Oh my god. Someone asked, what can we pair this with?
What can we try this
Anything.
with? I mean, I honestly think mashed potatoes is like a second sauce. Like on the table, I sop my like turkey with it, my ham with it. I'll mix my green bean casserole with it. I'll dip my egg rolls in it. Anything, you know? It's a very like flavorful mashed potato though. So if you want something not as intense in flavor to like, you know, take away from everything else that's going on the plate or the dinner table, you could just do this plain, maybe just breadcrumbs on top of it without all the extra stuff. That way you still have that added crunch, but without the additional flavors into it too.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
And how long do we bake this for? And at what temperature?
45 minutes at 350 degrees.
Okay, 45 at 350.
Yeah.
So good.
It'd probably be if like you're baking it and like it doesn't crust on at top and you know the inside's already been going for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, just turn it on broil for like 1 to 2 minutes. Watch that, don't let it burn, and you'll have a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Whether you are celebrating solo or a small group, or you are fortunate enough to be able to get together with family and loved ones, we're hoping that you can have an elevated experience, maybe incorporate a little bit of potluck, even if you don't. Just enjoy the time together. I think that's so important with the year that we've had. So
Yeah. Well, also know a lot of people doing too now is like if they're doing it solo, they'll do like Thanksgiving Zoom calls together, and like they set up like little Facebook events to all do that, which is like really, really cute. But you know, it's working with the times, and you know, at least like enjoy dinner with someone, if not in the physical presence,
totally.
via FaceTime. Or
Totally.
whatnot. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Let's do one last plug. I'm going to do one last plug for our Astor Farms limited edition collaboration olive oil, 100 milligrams of THC in each tin. We literally got these picked up from our distributors, Nabis, yesterday, so they'll be available at Harborside, Pharmacy, Berkeley, all the Harborside locations, Sherbinsky's in Los Angeles, and many, many more to come. But we're super, super excited to get this out. And we have one last pop-up to promote as well.
So yeah, the pop-up that's happening this weekend in Oakland at Taiwan Bento is called Nomads Junction. I know, kind of confusing. So that's going to be our last time doing it. We have a special chili crab curry noodles. It's from my pop-up called Fish Sauce Boogie. That I'm going to restart it the week after Thanksgiving. So around that Thanksgiving weekend, I'll put the menu out for December. And then I'll let you guys know what I'll have available for the following 3 weeks.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stay hungry, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
Be well fed. Happy Thanksgiving,
Bye.
y'all.
Happy holidays.